If you want to know the best things to do in Milan, this video is for you. Milan is Italy's second largest city and known as one of the main fashion centres of the world. Located in Italy's northern Lombardy region, Milan is the financial capital of the country and has a vibrant, fast-paced atmosphere. Despite having visited Italy many times, neither Nigel nor I had ever been to Milan, so we were excited to check this city out, even in the rain. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 best things to do in Milan. And stick around to the end for some tips on how to visit our number 1, which is very often booked out. Number 10 is the Castello Tesa, or the Sforza Castle. This castle was originally built as a fortification by the ruling Visconti family in the 14th century. When the last Visconti died childless, the Sforza family took over the rule of Milan, and the castle we see today dates from their renovations and building in the 15th century. You can walk through the extensive courtyard of the castle, which was once the largest in Europe. So here inside the Sforza Castle are a whole bunch of museums, from the archaeological collection to Renaissance paintings, sculptures and tapestries. This is a fantastic collection of European art. So we're now in the castle museums. This section is sculpture from the Roman times and medieval Lombardy. As usual, Nigel loved the collection of arms and armour.
Can't imagine the carnage back in those days. Oh my God. Nasty.
So we bought a combination ticket. It's €8 to see all of the museums here in the complex. Number 9 is the Rondinini Pieta, Michelangelo's last sculpture. You don't need to be an art buff to be familiar with Michelangelo's David in Florence, and maybe you've seen his Pieta in St. Peter's Cathedral in the Vatican. This unfinished sculpture is the one that Michelangelo was working on at the time of his death, aged 88. So the sculpture is housed here. This used to be the hospital. We were just reading, Michelangelo worked on this for over 10 years, this piece of marble, and it was unfinished on his death. So the statue represents Mary holding the dead body of her son Jesus just after the crucifixion. Yeah, so I see that hand now.
A good example of how he changed his mind. That would have been the original sculpture, and he's thought, nah, I'm going to make the figures smaller and skinnier.
Yeah. Number 8 is the Duomo, or Cathedral of Milan. This impressive cathedral took almost 600 years to build. It started in 1386 and wasn't completed until 1965.
Oh wow, look at that. That is one impressive building. Holy dooly, look at that. Wow. It's huge.
This is the biggest church in Italy.
Biggest church in Italy?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That is
Because, of course,
so cool.
St. Peter's Cathedral is not in Italy.
That's right.
It's in the Vatican
It's
City.
in the Vatican City, which is another country in its own.
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to queuing. So the queue starts way the hell over there. We're just trying to figure out where the end of the queue is. It's going all the way around the square. And finally, we've found the end of the queue.
We thought that we were doing the right thing buying a ticket, which would allow us to skip some massive long line, but no, we still have the privilege of standing here outside the Duomo in the rain. So right at the top of the cathedral, that golden statue there is of Mary. And Nigel, I can tell you an interesting fact about that statue. So the rule here in Milan is that no buildings are allowed to be built that are taller than Mary up there. However, there are 3 skyscrapers which are bigger than that, and each of them...
Splitters.
I know, but you know what they did to get around it? They built a replica of that statue
and put it up on their roofs and had the bishop or the archbishop or cardinal, whoever he is, come and bless it. Just taking our time to admire some of this detail. So we are inside the beautiful Duomo, Cathedral of Milan. It's like so incredible. I don't even know where to look. Like the stained glass.
We're just blown away by the size of this thing.
It's really hard not to be quite emotionally overcome and overwhelmed when you're standing in this enormous building. It's the third largest church in the world and it's just immense. And I'm kind of lost for words to describe what I'm seeing and how I'm feeling. It's just incredible. And I think this is one of those places where you really need to see it to understand it. So this is the statue of St. Bartholomew, who was one of the 12 apostles. The statue is called Flayed. So according to the story, he was flayed alive, so skinned, and he's carrying his skin over his shoulders like a stole. So yeah, you can even see like there the hand skin. I know, it's pretty barbaric, isn't it? So Nige, do you reckon that was worth lining up for an hour for?
Oh yeah, 100%. You had to see that.
Yeah, it's very like overwhelming.
It's just
It's so big.
the incredible extent of man's ability to engineer.
Yeah,
That's what impresses me.
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Your ticket to the Duomo also allows you entry to the Duomo museums, where you'll see a scale wooden replica and some of the many sculptures from the outside of the cathedral, including these gargoyles that were removed for safety. As you're walking to town from the castle, don't miss the beautiful fountain. This is a great spot for a view of the castle and a good photo spot. The Opera House in Milan is one of the most famous in the world. It was built in the late 18th century after a fire destroyed the previous building. The money was raised by the sale of boxes, which were lavishly decorated by their owners. In contrast, the exterior is rather plain, and even that was under scaffolding when we visited. Number 7 is the Victor Emanuele II Galleria. This is Italy's oldest shopping gallery and consists of 2 glass-roofed galleries intersecting at a glass dome. The gallery was built in the 1860s and houses some of the biggest name fashion retailers. In the centre of the Galleria, you'll find this mosaic artwork on the floor, and legend has it if you spin on your heel 3 times on this spot, you'll have good luck.
One more time. So we're just about to enter into the Victor Emanuele Gallery. Now you probably can't see it, but from about, it's only about 3 metres up, there is that little piece right there. There's a net above that. And Nigel was just saying it'd be so funny to see a pigeon fly into it. And I'm like, there's something stuck in it. Can you guys see that in the middle of the screen? Hang on, I'll go to zoom. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Look at that. Where is it? There. I've had to zoom all the way in. Someone's drone.
Oh, and did we mention this is one of the fashion capitals of the world? If you love shopping, you'll love Milan.
Yeah, it's like feeling it's fashion
Yeah,
capital of the world.
I know. You just look at all the Armani, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Prada, McDonald's.
Just a short walk from the main centre, you'll find the Brera district, which is known as the Art District. A maze of narrow winding streets, art galleries and cafes, this area is a respite from the hustle and bustle of the city. The most famous gallery here is the Pinateca, which houses an impressive collection of Italian art from the 13th to 20th centuries.
Amazing sculptures in here. I'm sure it would be much busier if it wasn't so wet.
Umbrella, umbrella, la, la, umbrella, la.
It wouldn't be Italy without enjoying beautiful food. From the local dish of saffron risotto, to restaurants making fresh pasta, and to quick pizza on the go. The food here is excellent.
Just a bit of a collection of pizza here.
We'll get some friends coming.
I hope so.
Oh, and of course there's the gelati.
So this is supposed to be one of the best gelati shops in town. Crema Alta Gelateria. Oh my god. So I have choc orange and salted caramel. Nigel, what have you got?
Yeah, the same as here on top, and then the close to vanilla.
So good. I need two hands to eat it though, friends, sorry.
Our number one thing to do in Milan is visit Leonardos' The Last Supper.
So I am now standing in front of the Church of Santa Maria della Grazia, built in the 15th century, and this is where Leonardo's Last Supper is situated. It does cost €15 just to enter, but it's almost impossible to get a ticket to go in.
We didn't know when we'd be arriving in Milan, so there were no tickets available. The only way we could get in was by joining a guided tour. I left Turin very early in the morning and caught the train to Milan to join my tour at 8:30 a.m.
So I've come here with Get Your Guide. I've got my little thingy here, my headphones, so I'm going to be able to hear what he's saying.
I did a 3-hour tour with a local guide, which included the standard 15 minutes to view the Last Supper.
Just spent an amazing 15 minutes in there with the local guide, and to be honest, I was like, seriously, spending €90 to go on this guided tour, but honestly it was worth every moment. What I didn't realise was the guide was with us the whole time, explaining everything about the painting, about the life of Leonardo. I thought I knew a fair bit, but I knew nothing compared to what we learned today. So it's really, really well worth coming with a guide, going in. You only get that 15 minutes in with the painting, but she explains everything. Can't take videos in there, so hopefully these photos will give you a bit of an idea, but it's like all hermetically sealed. So when you arrive, you go to the ticket office over here and collect your tickets. You then go in through this door here. You have to have your ticket scanned. You go through like a metal detector. They check your bags, and then as you go into each room, the door closes behind you and the next door opens.
Leonardo painted directly onto the dry walls of the dining hall of the monastery, rather than using fresco techniques that were popular at the time. As a result, the painting began to deteriorate almost immediately. There's been a lot of restoration work over the last centuries, culminating in a major restoration back to the original in the 1970s. So there you have it, our top 10 things to do in Milan. Join us next time as we head to Lake Como and visit the beautiful but very crowded Bellagio. We also have a bit of our own drone nightmare, which could be karma for us laughing at that one that flew into the shopping gallery. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.